What's happening, guys? Veggie here. So I actually discovered this Tesco range for vegans that's recently been introduced, and I know other supermarkets are taking pursuit as well in the same direction of veganism, which is absolutely brilliant to see. So I'm going to be reviewing some of these foods just to let you guys know. I'm going to do a taste test, maybe every week, maybe every few days. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how available these foods are. So I'm going to start off first of all with fiery tofu and slaw. Now, something I just want to illustrate before I do this taste test is I'm not a fan of tofu. So if this taste test succeeds, then Tesco are doing the right thing with their Wicked range. And, overall, I'm going to adopt new styles of eating, I suppose. So let's do a taste test of this. But first of all, I just want to talk about the macronutrients very briefly. So per pack, we're looking at 425 calories. We're looking at 15 grams of protein, which is pretty decent. 62 grams of carbohydrates. Okay, maybe not in compared to carbs. And fat is about 11 grams. So not a great deal of protein, but you're getting some protein. So there's nothing to really complain about too much there. I'm going to open it up and we'll do a taste test. Ooh, okay. Okay, so it actually looks amazing, but obviously looks isn't everything, so we're going to give it a brief taste. The bread is nice and thick. The tofu almost looks like slices of cheese, and ham, sorry, which is quite nice. It's got some carrots in there. It's fiery tofu and slaw. So before I actually eat this is roasted chili and garlic tofu with fragrant crunchy cabbage slaw on dark rye bread. Sounds quite healthy, but we'll give this a taste test and see what it's like. My general impression is the tofu isn't where a lot of this taste is. It's actually in the slaw, in this little salad bit which I'm assuming is carrots and some sauce. That's where most of the flavour comes from. Unfortunately, a tofu, even though they tried to season and flavour it, it doesn't come out with a great deal of flavour. But nonetheless, I still find this sandwich enjoyable because of the slaw. It's a bit spicy. I'm Indian as well, so it might be very spicy for someone who isn't used to spicy foods, right? The bread in general is quite nice. You know, it's healthy bread, so you can kind of taste. You can taste that. It doesn't taste like over processed bread. It tastes very natural, and you get a good feel of it. So, in general, I mean, taste test wise, I say I'd give this about a 6 to 7 out of 10. Main reason being is because the tofu doesn't give it the flavour, the slaw does, but it's still a pretty damn good sandwich. It is a bit dry, but the slaw does give it that kind of, that kind of juiciness to it, so it's not too dry. I do feel like the tofu fattens it up, which is quite nice, but at the same time, it's quite flavourless. And it does take a lot of skill to cook tofu, because I know this because I've tried it myself with so many spices. I could never get it tasting like it had flavour. It was always very subtle, and that's what I taste here. I just taste subtleness of flavour. The best way of me describing that is if you have flavoured green tea. It's like that. It's like a subtle hint of it, but you kind of can't get the taste. So for health, I'm going to give this about a 7 out of 10. It's pretty damn healthy. There is some sauce obviously used, so it's not 10 out of 10, In terms of macronutrients and nutritional value for bodybuilding, I'd probably just give this like a 4 or 5 out of 10. There's not a great deal of protein. Majority of it is carbohydrates. The reason it's not like a 1 or 2 is because there's more protein than fat, which is good. So you've got that, you've got a decent balance, but at the same time you've got like quadruple the amount of carbs as protein. So it's not that great for macronutrient value. It does get like better as you progress. You start to notice different spices and flavors that you just didn't notice the first bite, which is quite nice. The packaging is quite good as well, but I have heard a lot of criticism about Wicked because their packaging isn't recyclable, so it's not very ethical. They say you can repackage it, but let's face it, who's going to repackage packaging that you just got for like a sandwich or pasta pot or whatever? The ingredients list is quite huge. I don't know if you guys can see, there's a lot of ingredients in there. It might be worthwhile just maybe seeing what you're putting in your body, but for the most part a lot of it just seems to be vegetables and different types of sauces and spices, so it's not too bad. It's not very processed, I don't think. You guys can challenge me on that. But as far as I'm aware, there are a lot of ingredients, but I'm just reading them and a lot of it's just garlic, water and soy. It's like, it's not very heavily processed. This is quite a filling meal, you guys. I've only had half, and it's taken me this long so far, and I'm a quick eater. Anyway, you guys, overall, I'd probably give this product 6 out of 10, only because of the blandness of the tofu. They really put effort into flavoring the tofu and got it to bring out some kind of flavor or spiciness or something to it that just wasn't blank. Probably give us a 7 or 8 out of 10. This is the first one, you guys. I've tried Wicked range out before, a Wicked Kitchen range, and generally their meals are really good. So I'm definitely going to be reviewing more of these in the future. I've got one lined up here, got another wrap here, which I'll try in my next video. But anyway, you guys, see you in the next video where I start to review more and more vegan food.